Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you do not miss any video lesson from RAU'S.
Hello and welcome to another session of Daily Prelims Practice. Here we take up MCQs based on important news and articles that have featured in the Hindu and the Indian Express newspaper. The themes that we are going to take up today are displayed on your screen. So let's start the discussion. Inspiration for our first question comes from this news, which talks about French author Annie Ernaux winning Nobel Prize in Literature. So today we will be taking up question based on Rabindra Tagore. As you can see that in 2021, UPSC asked question related to Madna Palle, where Rabindranath Tagore translated the national anthem from Bengali to English. So let's take up today's practice MCQ. Question is, consider the following statements regarding Rabindranath Tagore. You have to identify the correct statements. Statement 1 says, he is credited for setting up University of Calcutta. Now this statement is incorrect, as University of Calcutta was established in 1857 as per the recommendations of Wood's dispatch. Statement 2 says his pen name was Bhanu Simha, which is a correct statement as he published his first poems in age of 16 under the pen name of Bhanu Simha. Now the third statement says the English translation of Gitanjali was done by him along with W.B. Yeats. Now this is again a correct statement. So as we had to find the correct statements, our answer would be B, that is 2 and 3 only. Our next question is based on this news, which talks about how World Bank has estimated the India's growth for current fiscal year. World Bank has pegged estimate for India's growth at 6.5% for current fiscal year, which is lower than its previous projection in June and also lower than the last fiscal year's 8.7% growth rate. UPSC has been asking questions based on important reports and indexes that are published by World Bank and other important international organizations. As in 2016, UPSC asked question based on Ease of Doing Business Index, which is published by World Bank. Let's have a look at today's practice MCQ. Question is, which among the following reports is /R published by the World Bank? You have to select the correct answer using the code given here. Now first report is Human Capital Index. Second is Human Development Report. Third is Logistics Performance Index. And fourth is World Economic Outlook Report. Now Human Development Report is published by UNDP, while World Economic Outlook Report is published by IMF. Human Capital Index and Logistics Performance Index is published by the World Bank. Now there is a difference between Human Development Report and Human Capital Index. While Human Development Report ranks different countries on the basis of Human Development Index, it gives idea about existing level of development, while Human Capital Index covers the potential of development. So as we have to select the correct answer, our answer would be B, that is 1 and 3 only. Now the next question is based on this news, which talks about UN Council rejecting debate on Xinjiang. This news is about UN Human Rights Council, that is UNHRC, which voted against holding a debate on alleged abuses in China's Xinjiang region. Now United Nations being important multilateral organization, UPSC has asked question related to the United Nations, its mandate and its programs. Like in 2016, UPSC asked question based on United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, in which you had to identify importance of this convention. Now let's take up today's practice MCQ based on UNHRC. You have to identify correct statements from the given options. Question is, with reference to UNHRC, consider the following statements. Now, statement 1 says, members of the council serve for a period of 3 years and are not eligible for immediate re-election after serving 1 term. Now, this statement is incorrect, as members are not eligible for immediate re-election after serving 2 consecutive terms. Statement 2 says, the Universal Periodic Review solely based on information provided by the state under review. This statement is again incorrect, as the reviews are conducted by UPR working group, which consists 47 members, and each state review is assisted by group of 3 states known as troikas. Now, there are 3 documents on which the reviews are based upon. First is information provided by the state under reviews, which can take the form of national report. Second, information contained in the reports of independent human rights experts and groups known as the special procedures, human rights treaty bodies, and other UN entities. Third is the information from other stakeholders, including National Human Rights Institution and NGOs. So, as we have to find the correct statement and both the given statements are incorrect, our option would be D, that is neither 1 nor 2. Our next question is based on this news, which talks about the Home Ministry and Election Commission both submitting to the Supreme Court that delimitation of territory of Jammu and Kashmir following the dilution of Article 370 have acquired the force of law. So our today's practice MCQ is based on the Delimitation Commission, as UPSC has been asking question based on Election Commission, its power and mandate. As in 2017, it has asked question related to the powers and functions of Election Commission. So let's have a look at today's practice MCQ. Question is, with reference to Delimitation Commission, consider the following statements. You have to identify the correct statements. Now, statement 1 says, it is a 4-member body consisting 3 election commissioners and a Supreme Court judge. This statement is incorrect, as Delimitation Commission is a 3-member body which includes a serving or retired judge of the Supreme Court, second, Chief Election Commissioner or an election commissioner nominated by the Chief Election Commissioner, and third, the State Election Commissioner of the concerned state. Now, the second statement says, the currently delimitation of constituencies is done on the basis of 1991 census. This statement is again incorrect, as the 84th Amendment Act of 2001 empowered the government to undertake readjustment and rationalization of territorial constituencies in the states on the basis of population figure of 1991 census. However, this condition got changed in 87th Amendment Act of 2003, which says that delimitation would be done on the basis of 2001 census and not 1991. So, as we have to find the correct statement, both the statements are incorrect. Our answer would be D, that is neither 1 nor 2. Our next question is based on news that featured in the Indian Express, which is related to the budget review, which talks about the cascading impact of anticipated global downturn, which may dent the budget arithmetic in the second half of the current financial year. Today we have taken a practice MCQ based on distinction between revenue and capital expenditure. As in 2016, UPSC asked question based on what all are included in capital budget of the Government of India. So let's take up today's practice MCQ. The question is, consider the following statements related to presentation of budget in India. You have to identify the correct statements. Now, statement 1 says, the Constitution mandates that the annual financial statement should distinguish the expenditure on revenue account from other expenditure. This statement is correct, as Article 112 of the Constitution requires the government to present annual financial statement before the Parliament every financial year. It also asks that the AFS should distinguish the expenditure on the revenue account from other expenditure. Second statement says, the grants received from international institution form part of capital account. This statement is incorrect, as international grants are considered as part of revenue account. Now, third statement says, the grants given to the state governments are treated as revenue expenditure, even though some of the grants may be used for creation of capital asset. This statement is correct, as grants to the states for creation of assets along with interest payments, subsidies, salaries, etc. are categorized as revenue expenditure. So as we have to find the correct statement, our answer would be C, that is 1 and 3 only. Our last question of the day is based on this article that featured in the Indian Express newspaper. Author of this article raises concern over letter by Election Commission, in which Election Commission is proposing mandatory disclosure of the financial implications of the promises made in manifestos by political parties. Author calls it as ECI's overreach. So our practice MCQ is based on provisions related to Election Commission of India. As we have already seen that Election Commission, its features and mandate has been the recurring theme in UPSC Civil Services preliminary examination. So let's take up today's question. You have to identify correct statements while considering the following statements. Statement 1 says, the Chief Election Commissioner holds his office till the pleasure of the President. Now this statement is incorrect, as the Chief Election Commissioner is provided with the security of tenure. He cannot be removed from his office except in same manner and on the same ground as the judge of the Supreme Court. That is, resolution for his removal must be passed with special majority, and the grounds of his removal will be similar to that of Supreme Court judge, which is proved misbehavior or incapacity. Now the second statement says, the Constitution has not debarred the retiring election commissioners from any further appointment by the government. Now this statement is correct, because apart from providing various safeguards and ensuring the independence, there are some flaws related to the provisions of the Election Commission. Number 1 is, Constitution has not prescribed the qualification of the members of Election Commission. Second, Constitution has not specified the term of the members of the Election Commission. Third, the Constitution has not debarred the retiring election commissioners from any further appointment by the government. So, as we have to find the correct statement, our answer would be B, that is 2 only. So this is the end of the session. Stay tuned for more updates.